Vice Mayor, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. First of all, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Because I think this is probably our only meeting, official meeting of the month of December.
I'm sorry, I moved ahead, actually.
So
Pardon
should
me.
I get two chances?
No, you don't. Hold that thought. I moved right on. I crossed out the Sunset Bridge and I just moved on to the next item. Presentations up first, 5A, accept awards from the International Economic Development Council, the IEDC, and the City County Communications and Marketing Association, 3CMA. Dolores, do you have the good news?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, thank you very much.
Can't hear her.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it on?
Just speak up a little bit.
Okay, sorry about that. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you for having us here this evening. It is with great pleasure and honor that I am presenting you awards that your city has won this year. The first one is from the International Economic Development Council. This is a very, very prestigious award. Very few communities receive such an award. There are over 4,400 members of the International Economic Development Council. This year, over 600 communities vied for awards from the IEDC. The only awards that were received, I think, this year in Florida actually were from the park down at FAU won an award from IEDC this year, and us. So I think it's very exciting that we received one. We won the Excellence in Economic Development and we're competing against communities of 200,000 population. So it's a great honor that I present to you all this award.
Thank you.
Our second award is on the national level, and they're through the City County Communications and Marketing Awards. The first one is for a special event, one-time event. It's the Savvy, which is a first place award. We were competing against, there were over 600 entries in this division. The judges' comments were great results, creative design, well thought out approach. The city strategically timed the public forums with a well rolled out and well-designed collateral to effectively communicate the updates to city policies to two specific target audiences. Attention to detail left a positive impression on investors and land development professionals. This was in response to all our land development regulations and the big events that we had at the casino, informing all of the land development professionals about our new LDRs, as well as the one that we did to potential investors at the Cultural Council. So again, it shows that good economic development, you have to have solid policies and procedures in place, and we will recognize that economic development and policies and procedures work hand in hand to create a sustainable community. Again, this is a national award, and kudos to you all understanding that government doesn't create jobs, but policies can enable job creation. The next award is also in the field of economic development, and it is in our marketing and tools, and this was second place. And interestingly, we competed against Tacoma, Washington, and beat them. Yay, and that's a city with a population of 2,010 people. So, Little Lake Worth, we didn't do bad. Judges' comments: innovative, leading-edge design work, beautifully designed and packaged promotional materials, well thought out plan, and events are nicely executed. So again, we're getting our word out there, and thanks to the whole team, Williams' team, everybody around. We have all come together as one big collective team and really working hard to make this city shine like it should have been all along.
Thank you.
Johnson.
I'd just like to add that there was the staff time that, putting in these applications for the various competitions. I want to congratulate, Dolores and William and the other staff that worked on it. There's other applications that we have out there. I know that there's the Planning Congress or the state, I can't remember all the acronyms.
Yes, and just for notable mention, Lake Worth staff were guest speakers at the APA Florida National Conference, which was a huge honor for us to be recognized as that. William, myself, Max, we all were guest speakers as a panel to highlight what we have accomplished here in Lake Worth in the last couple of years with our LDR regulations, our marketing rollout, all of the good things that have happened. And for us as Little Lake Worth to be featured on a state level stage and to have communities come and use us as a case study is an honor. And we're gaining not only statewide attention but national and international attention. And that could only be done by commission support and moving our city forward.
And that's in line with the overall discussions that we've had, that, we want to be a place that people go, wow, we want to be like Lake Worth. And that's an example I think we can set. We keep going forward. So congratulations. There'll be more.
Thank you, and thank you to staff for doing such a great job and representing us well.
Thank you.
Financial reporting?
Yes, and Steve had to be out, so only can you accomplish these things if you have a good financial basis to spring forward. And so once again, the city of Lake Worth has a certificate of achievement of excellence in financial reporting. And the city of Lake Worth has received this honor many years. And once again, that has been awarded to the city of Lake Worth.
Yay. We can get used to this.
You're going to need a shelf.
So I think all in all, what you all can be proud of is your accomplishments as a city commission, that you are bringing the city forward while maintaining your quirky personality and maintaining your integrity as who you are, and be proud of who you are, but still, highlighting your assets and moving forward in such a positive direction, and we appreciate your leadership and thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. Nation declaring December 1st, 2014 as World AIDS Day. Is there anyone here to receive proclamation, or shall I just read? Okay. Whereas over 35 million people are currently living with HIV/AIDS worldwide, and over 25 million people have already died of AIDS, and each year more than 2.7 million new infections occur. And whereas the global spread of HIV infection and AIDS necessitates a worldwide effort to increase communication, education, and action to stop the spread of HIV/AIDS. And whereas the United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS observes December 1st of each year as World AIDS Day, a day to commemorate those who have passed on, celebrate victories such as increased access to treatment and prevention services, and reinvigorate the worldwide effort to stop the spread of HIV/AIDS. And whereas in the United States, over 1 million people are infected with HIV, and every 11 minutes a new infection occurs, resulting in more than 50,000 new annual infections. And whereas the Palm Beach County HIV Community Prevention Partnership and the Palm Beach County HIV Care Council, through its partners, are working together to renew HIV/AIDS awareness and to expand and strengthen the local effort to stop the spread of HIV/AIDS in Palm Beach County on World AIDS Day. Now therefore I, Pam Triolo, Mayor of the City of Lake Worth, Florida, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim December 1st, 2014 as World AIDS Day, and urge all residents of the City of Lake Worth to take part in activities and observances designed to increase awareness and understanding as a global challenge, and to join the global effort to prevent further spread of HIV/AIDS. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city in Lake Worth, Florida to be affixed this second day of December 2014. And improvements by Palm Beach County.
Mayor, Commissioners, I asked Rob Robbins, the Director of Palm Beach County's Environmental Resource Management, or ERM, to come and give you this brief presentation on the shoreline restoration. It's been talked about a long time, so we wanted to go ahead and have a presentation briefly about that, and then there'll be a follow-up item later in the meeting that actually takes action on it. Rob.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Microphone? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Again, my name is Rob Robbins with Palm Beach County, and what I'd like to do, if I may, use 4 slides to speak to item I on your consent agenda, but also to give you an update on 2 related items that are downtown on the waterfront. And if I can go right to some slides, if you'll allow me to jump to one of the related items first, we had in process an agreement by which we can take some of the floating docks out of the really underused area by the Snook Islands Natural Area and bring those around to be an amenity to the city's boat ramp, which is heavily used. So we have that agreement in process. We'll be taking it to the Board of County Commissioners next month. Not ready to ask you all to do anything along those lines. That's more of just to let you know one of the things that's in the works. One of the items that's item I on the consent agenda this evening, though, is a small living shoreline project along the city's seawall between the bridge and the boat ramp, illustrated by this little green area right here. The living shoreline is a small planter area in front of the seawall, with a seawall length of about 100 feet. And what I'd like to do is take the next 2 slides just to show a rendering of what that would look like upon completion. And this particular slide, again, about 100 feet along the seawall, there's a planter area in front of the wall. One of the things that we've learned before is not to plant mangroves in an area like this that might obscure the view. So this actually depicts shortly after construction and shortly after planting, but the planting would be spartina, a grass that grows about 2 to 3 feet tall, not mangroves. And then, of course, the planter surface area here is about 4 feet below the cap of the seawall. So with planting spartina, we don't anticipate that there would be any obstruction of the water view in this stretch. And of course, as it grows in, it would green up. And the spartina is something that during high tide would be inundated, good fisheries habitat. During a low tide would be exposed, good wading bird habitat. So that is the item that's on consent agenda, item I. The second of the 2 peripheral items, I wanted to let you all know that, as we had said we would do before up along the golf course, which fronts that mile-long Snook Islands Natural Area, there's a number of areas there where the anticipated maintained windows that were initially not supposed to be mangroves to maintain the view of the water did come in mangroves. Mangroves grew quite heartily along that stretch. And we told you all we would get the permits so that we could take the mangroves down and replace them with spartina grass. So we've just gotten started along that route. We got started along the clubhouse, which seemed to be one of the most serious concerns of view. And so we've just recently gotten started taking down the mangroves. That will occur in a number of the vistas along that project area. And then we'll be coming back and replacing that with the low spartina grass. So that's a quick update of where we are. We'd certainly love to entertain any questions you all might have.
Thank you, Commissioner Amoroso.
Can you go back 1 slide to the actual living garden? Now, share with us, you had said when the water comes in, so on the outside, is that a hole that the water and the fish can actually come through?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, this is a new design, never used before. And the idea is to let water, these need to be strong enough to withstand the storm and protect the seawall. So the structures need to be strong enough to withstand the storm, but at the same time, there's designed passageways for water and fish to go back and forth from the tide to tide. Is that there?
Great.
Haven't there been a lot of cities have been looking at this type of, right? This is kind of cutting edge that we're getting here in Lake Worth.
Lake Worth has been cutting edge in the realm of estuarine restoration for a long time. You know there's a lot of money now being talked about in the Indian River Lagoon, and how to restore the Indian River Lagoon. Tremendous problems are going on up there. we're taking people right here to see how restoration is done. So, yeah, you passed the cutting edge, you've been there a long time.
Great, thank you.
Mayor,
Commissioner Zerdy?
I want to thank you for the Spartina,
Sir.
and also thank you for the mangrove adjustments there along the golf course, because I hear about it quite a bit. And you're true to the word that we said a while ago, that it's coming, it's going to happen, and I'm really glad to hear that, so thank you, I appreciate that.
You are welcome. Not easy for us to go cut
I
down
know
some
that.
mangroves.
I understand.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do.
Appreciate it very much.
Commissioner McCoy?
I guess I might be representing a somewhat different viewpoint. I know that in the past, there was consideration along this length of the seawall to actually have a number of stretches of that with mangroves on it. And I think we all are aware that the whole shoreline originally was mangroves, all of it. And we've moved away from that to hardened walls. And now we're adding a little small stretch of Spartina, which may or may not do real well there, but it's something. I just want you to be aware that there is a very substantial contingent in Lake Worth that actually was very happy with the idea of having increases in the mangrove shoreline. Perhaps not as vociferous as some of the folks that were more concerned about the view, but please do be aware that when a batch of us walked out, it was actually dominated by folks who see the benefit of mangroves, particularly in situations of changing climate, where you need shoreline surge protection. And we're all aware that Spartina won't do that. Mangroves certainly have been known to help quite a bit. We recognize the trade-off between view and habitat, but I just want you to be aware that there are a number of people in Lake Worth who do value mangroves. And now you're aware.
And I appreciate that, we do value those folks. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it.
You can just pick it up.
James Nevad, Chairman, Division 2, Pension. For those who don't know, this is the pension that we get money from the state, not from the city. So make that clear. Right now, everything is looks well. We have great money managers on our staff. We have ICC, who in the last 5 years has been averaging 15.9% return on income, on returns, I should say. We're on pace, hopefully, for another double-digit earnings. We're monitored by Bogdan and Associates, and our custodian for Pension Resource Center, which deals with the city and other areas too. But everything is on pace for another good year. I'd like to thank the commission for, we have a Chris Bell, who's the city representative for this board, and he's been actually on the board since about 1987, so he is a very, very calming effect. You guys know him, he talks about this, but he's, want to thank him for that. The board is made up, for those who don't know, the board is made up of 5 individuals. 3 are elected firefighters. One is the city's appointee, and the other is the fire chief, who is our past fire chief, who is the appointee from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. We have a balance of about $4.5 million in the account, and kind of short and sweet. You guys have any questions? I come here every year to the same deal. Did you have anything?
I have a question for you. Right up.
Oh. Uh-oh. The echo.
I have asked this before, and I've never asked it when you were doing the presentation. I sit on board, in reference to the city, I sit on the police pension board and the general employees pension board. There's no elected that sits on the firefighters, or we have a representative from the, there's no elected on that board. I just was wondering why it was, why the rule's different.
That's for Division 2. Division 1, I believe, has an elected person here, 2 of them, on Division 1. Division 2 is I don't wanna say new by any means, but it didn't start until, I think, in the late seventies. It's a supplemental insurance premium, which is similar to what the police department gets, on the 185 side, they call it. It was an ordinance drafted by past city commissioners back in the late seventies, I believe. I don't know why.
Okay, I just wanted-
But I do know, and I'm not sure if it's because there's no, the city doesn't put into the money, they have no financial really, there's no financial impact from the city on this fund,
Okay, that
where
would be
it does on the other fund.
Okay, yeah, if you can get back to me if it's anything different, that'd be awesome. Thank
Any
you.
other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, have a good night.
By the way, one last thing.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see a nice commission. It's my last meeting, it's not good, I can say this. It's nice to see a good, stable city staff you have. And I think you can see that by the presentations that I witnessed earlier today. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have you been in the stable?
Commission liaison reports and comments since I rudely